What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be discussing sales and use tax. I know this is a fan favorite, and every business owner should be well aware of what sales and use tax is. We're going to be discussing who's responsible for paying sales and use tax, who's responsible for collecting use tax, and essentially how it all works. I hope you find this content to be very helpful. My name is Nelson Aguilar. I am a 14-year corporate accountant, now turned small business owner accountant and strategist, tax strategist. I am now helping the small business owner and the individual taxpayer make more money, but also save money on taxes, utilizing the same strategies that I learned in corporate America, now sending them and bringing them over to you. Let's get started. What is sales tax? It's a tax that's imposed on mostly all goods and certain services. Now, that list may vary state over state, county over county, and even at the city level. So be sure to check with your local municipality as to how sales tax is taxed. But in most cases, most goods are taxed, and there are a handful of services that should also collect sales tax for. How does it actually work? So let's take a hypothetical example. You walk into a shoe store and you purchase a pair of new shoes. In most states, you can be certain that you'll pay some sales taxes on those shoes. And so the sales tax should already be calculated at the time of checkout. And so you'll pay the price for the shoes and sales tax at checkout. Now, the sales tax that's collected by the merchant and business owner is then to be remitted back to the state at the end of the quarter. It's their responsibility as the business to ensure that their record keeping is substantial enough to record and identify the sales tax transactions, but also to send the money over to the state. As a consumer, your responsibility is complete at the time of sale. As the business owner, our responsibility doesn't finish until the end of the quarter, where we would remit those payments over to the state. Now, what happens as business owners if we don't make those timely payments? If you guess penalties and fines, you're absolutely right. You see, that money does not belong to us as business owners. That money belongs to the state. We're essentially just middle persons in the whole transactions involved. That's the cost of doing business. And so if you're a business owner, understand where your responsibilities and duties lie here. As a consumer, your responsibility ends with the checkout process at the store. Now, at a later video, we'll discuss how sales tax applies to e-commerce transactions, but we'll leave that for another day. Use tax. You may have heard of use tax tied to sales tax, hence sales and use tax. What does it mean? Now, use tax is applied to businesses and or consumers who purchase goods out of state lines. And I'll give you an example. As a consumer and the business owner, if I purchase supplies or products outside of my home state in New Jersey, suppose I make a purchase in Florida, the types of products that I purchase, sales tax levied on those products. Assuming that the Florida sales tax is 3% and my home state sales tax is 6%, New Jersey and its use tax states that I should be paying the difference in sales tax for the purchase I made in Florida. So although I paid sales tax in Florida and I paid for the price of goods at checkout, New Jersey wants to ensure that they still receive their fair share. And so this is a way for them to combat residents and other consumers in New Jersey from evading their state tax in New Jersey and finding the cheaper alternative out of state lines. So to summarize, if you buy a product outside of state lines and pay a lesser sales tax percentage than that of your home state, your home state still wants you to pay that difference as a use tax. Now, if you're a business owner and you've made these purchases, that would be solely your responsibility. And so you may ask yourself, well, how do I even keep track of that? And the answer to that is bookkeeping. Every purchase that you make for your business should be tied to your business financials. And so a record keeping of how much money you paid on sales taxes would help us identify if you paid adequate amount of sales tax for those products. Now, as your bookkeeper, I would ensure that the products that you purchase out of state have sufficient sales tax paid to that of your home state. If not, there's some reconciliations that we would have to do at the end of the month to ensure that we comply with the state tax division. We're not going to be audited in the future. And so there's a lot to unwind here, but essentially, this is why bookkeeping is essential and very important to your business. Now, you may have thought use tax seems just so unfair, and I get it. It surely does feel that way. It seems unfair, unjust. I understand, but the rules are what they are. And so as business owners, we need to ensure that we are playing by those same rules. Otherwise, you can expect hefty fines and penalties for not playing by those rules. For our clients, it's seamless. I provide them a monthly report on what their sales tax responsibilities are. And at the end of the quarter, I tally those numbers up and send them a file as a recap to summarize those numbers. And I handle all of their sales tax on their behalf. And so it's one less thing for our business owners and our clients to worry about. If this is something that you think that you can benefit from, be sure to send us an email and see if we can find ways to work with one another and get this off your plate and let us handle it. So there you have it, sales and use tax. Very complicated subject, but surely something that every business owner and consumer should know about. If you have any questions, please make sure to drop them below. I'd appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe. That way we continue to roll out more helpful contents just like this. As always, if you're looking for an accountant or bookkeeper or a tax preparer, you can click the link below and we can set up a discovery call to see if we are the right fit for one another and get you started on our professional services. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.